What up? What up? What up, world? Hey, you're here. Get Right Fantasy Network. I feel like I haven't done a show just me and you in a long time, man. Welcome.
I know it feels like it's been a while, man. How you doing? I'm glad I get
I
to
was
sit back this episode and let you kind of take the wheels. It'll be good.
I was happy to do it till I seen you brought back that damn hat. That's how you
Had to
know it was a
represent.
rough week.
It was. Couldn't get the haircut. It's all good. It'll happen tonight.
I know mine's banging right now too. Hey, because we're all saving it right before Thanksgiving. Happy
Right.
Thanksgiving to all the listeners. We just
Absolutely.
wrapped up week 11. Moving into week 12, it's a short week, so we got to be ready. You're going to have more games than normal come Thursday, so do all your everything, DFS, all that stuff, get it in while you can.
Absolutely.
That's it. I was just giving you a shot in case you wanted
No,
to
I'm
say
good.
anything there.
I have plenty.
You're,
I have plenty to say later. I'm ready to go. What up, dim
all
boys?
right, let's do our little shameless plugs. Um, all the links are below. If you guys aren't in, get in the Sleeper channel, like, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. We have Andrew dropping articles every week. If you guys haven't checked it out, he's always giving you great insight. Make sure to tune into that. If you're not yet, you're missing out because I just won money on Underdog this week. I try to trick them. Hey, they're a little smarter than I give them credit for. So I apologize, Underdog, but hey, I'm still walking away with their money. What is it, Ant? They're doing 100%? Break that down. Give us something.
Yeah, no, man. They're doing their new bonus. So when you sign up, underdogfantasy.com, use that promo code Get Right. And when you do, when you make your first deposit, $10 or more, they will match it up to $100 by 100%. So open an account, use the code Get Right, throw in $100, and you'll get $100 on the house, man, and start putting it in there. And just to see what you got out here and the reason why, man. Sufayan Malik, I don't know if I said that properly, but I think I'm close. He says, "Hey, what's up, guys? Listen to your advice and beat the number one dude in his league by 56." So that's what we're talking about. You know, that's awesome, man. That's great to hear. Um, Congratulations, man. That's what we do. That's what it's all about
Better
over here
you
in that
than
stuff.
us.
Exactly. I had a terrible week, so I don't even want to get into it. But it's
We
all
were
good.
just talking
I'm
about
glad
it
you
off
guys
the
are.
air.
I'm glad you guys are winning. That's all that matters.
We just pray that everybody out there, you didn't have to face the Jonathan Taylors, Herbert,
I've lost the
Eckler.
Jonathan Taylor, man. I'm so upset. Shout out to Lisa Park. She got me in the
I
Got
got
Left Out
Eckler.
Listener League. Ooh, it was a
I'll
brutal
never,
comeback.
I'll never forgive Eckler. I did, manage to beat Anthony, so that's always a good one. I love it. I had that coming heavy, rolling already. All right, so let's jump into like we always do, Mago's interesting fact of the day. If you want to hold that one, and then I'll go through with the perfect lineup. We already kind of
Yeah,
talked about some of them.
for sure. So Magoat's interesting fact of the day. And to get these interesting facts, make sure you hit that description. Scroll down, you'll see the Get Right Fantasy Network Sleeper channel. Follow that link. Download the Sleeper app. It's an awesome app. It's a platform similar to Yahoo where you can, run your leagues and get a ton of breaking news and information. It's kind of how we all met. But come join that, and you get fun stuff like this. Taylor Hannicki has completed more passes than anyone in the NFL history over their first career starts. So you should have gave us a number on that one, Magoats. I should have looked it up too as well. But I don't even have to fact check this guy, man. I trust him. And so there it is, man. The Magoats interesting fact of the day. Taylor Hannicki has completed more passes than anyone in NFL history over their first three career starts. So just think about that. Think about that. Go
Dude,
ahead.
goat. Hey, the goat.
The goat has spoken.
All right, hey, let's break down your perfect lineup. We already talked about a lot of these guys. You either love them or hate them this week. So, starting quarterback number 1 would be Herbert. Number 2 would be Rodgers if you're running a super flex or a 2 QB league. Jonathan Taylor, Eckler. None of these names are going to surprise you guys. Those are going to be your running backs. If you're running a flex, DeAndre Swift, obviously he killed it this week too. Justin Jefferson had a huge day. Devontae Adams, 2 touchdowns. He's in there for your 2 wide receivers. Zach Ertz.
Yeah,
I mean, that
Ertz.
one, a little surprising.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns. That'll do it for you.
Hey, with Colt McCoy at the helm.
Yeah.
Defense, New England, and that was just I mean, whatever. You got Cincinnati's kicker, Kyle Van Noy. If you're running an IDP, IDP's kind of, unless we go position by position, you're kind of looking at like, hey, who got the pick six? Who got the longest pick six? But he was well rounded, so that's your perfect lineup in any format. Yeah,
like
Jim
it.
Boyce, he got smoked by Jonathan Taylor in the zombie league. I turned into a zombie league, a zombie in that league, not mainly because of Eckler, but mainly because of Eckler. The coach whipped him.
And McGoats put it on him in the listener league. So shout out to the listener league. I took an L there this week as well. Shout out to Wilson, 27. He got me. I had him projected, and he got me. Both of them got me this week. Brutal.
That dude's a mad scientist.
It was a rough week. It's a rough week. You want to get into a couple questions here? Just kind of warm us up here before we get into some game breakdowns and ads and
Let's do it.
Drops and all that stuff. So we got Sufayan in here asking, is Cedric Wilson worth a start with CD out, or should I go Freeman at the flex against the Browns? So do you like CD or Freeman this week?
Well, Cedric. I like Freeman. So I've been running with Devontae Freeman. He's been good to me so far. Cedric Wilson, yeah. Cowboys are going to be without CD and without Amari Cooper. And we're going to be missing Tyron Smith, it looks like, again. So there's a few holes that we got to figure out on offense. I don't think that it's going to turn out like it did this week against the Chiefs. They just kind of had our number. Chris Jones had a good game. So there's going to be, the ball's getting thrown, Michael Gallup's going to be your number 1. Cedric's going to be your number 2. But I always feel safer. My floor with the running back is the route that I want to go, especially when it's a question mark like that.
There it is. And we'll definitely talk about Freeman here as we get into waiver wire. I definitely have him on my list. He's just kind of right at that borderline cutoff. But yeah, so my answer on that is, like you said, safer floor is Freeman. If you need a little upside in there, maybe you throw Wilson in there, given the situation. So Neanderthal says, what's up? What's up, Neanderthal? He has Jonathan Taylor. He's one of the Jonathan Taylor owners here in Frank's league. And shout out to Frank. Couldn't make it on here tonight. We have Jake Cohen in here asking AJ Brown rest of season. Quickly, what are your thoughts on that?
I'm running with AJ Brown. That's kind of a easy
you got to
one.
Start him if he's healthy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all that it is. If he's playing, I'm playing him. It sucks this week. He went down, but they were already getting smacked by the time he went down.
Yeah, he went out with that hand, came back with the chest, and then came back in and then went out with a chest injury as well. All looks okay. He may miss a game, but we'll see. So he'll be just fine. That dude is literally muscle on muscle. He recovers fast. He's young. He'll be good.
Yeah.
Let's see. How about Hurts being QB1 overall? I didn't have him QB1 overall. Maybe depending on your scoring. Maybe 4 points.
I looked that up when I seen him post that too. I know he's doing well, but I don't have him as far as projected points, even in the top. What is he? Yeah. I think he's 8th, 7th, which is still good, right? But that's kind of where people drafted him. But
he's saying he's QB1 overall. And yeah, a lot of these guys have only played 9 games. He's played 11, so it is a little skewed that way as well. If you look at fantasy points per game, he's 5th. So, but yeah, still not bad. Has the total most fantasy points right now at QB. So can't argue with that. What else do we got here? Pollard might be in the slot a bit with all the wide receivers out too. And what else we got here?
Well, that's if Zeke. Hey, if Zeke comes back.
Yeah,
I mean,
he has
Zeke
a knee
says he's
issue going on.
okay. Yeah, he said he's okay.
We'll see. Sufyan says Cooper and Freeman for D Hop. He has one more day to decide before the trade deadline.
I personally want it.
I'll stay Cooper Freeman. Cooper's only out because of COVID. D Hop is all banged up. Kyler's all banged up. I'll take Cooper and Freeman.
And D Hop's awesome. Not a knock on him, but he's so touchdown dependent.
Right. And Kyler spreads the ball around as we've seen. He hasn't really even been there to play with Ertz yet. Ertz is getting 2 touchdowns. Will that be more of a Kyler D Hop thing when he gets back? We'll see. Yeah, I'd stick with Cooper. Jake saying thanks. You want to read that one off? Can you see it?
Had a rough week in fantasy.
I don't want to take control over here.
Lost by 2 points in one league and played a dude with Jonathan Taylor and Eckler in another. Hey, not much you could do. Just throw that one in the rear view. That's tough, though. That dude's living his life right now.
Ooh. And
those are the worst. Hey, but it helps you if your league comes down to rankings. If it comes to points, I mean that's not a bad thing. But yeah, that one's a tough pill to swallow for sure.
For sure. So the rest of that we're all pretty good here. Everyone's just kind of letting us know how your guys' weekends went. How'd you do? Bad, good. Let us know. Keep it coming, and we'll get into some waiver wire stuff here and kind of continue to overreact to the week. So, what do we do next? What do you want to do next?
All our questions. That's all our questions.
Huh? Yeah, we're caught up on the chat now.
Well, I would say as far as what are you seeing as far as some waiver wire ads that you're looking at this week, or people that kind of got off? What's your overreactions?
Well, I think one of the first things, usually these waiver ads have a lot to do with injuries. So for me, I think one of the biggest injuries, to kind of the most fantasy relevant player that I would say this week, and again, I want to kind of, preface it by saying, he's not the greatest player that got hurt this week. But Michael Carter. With a high ankle sprain.
I was trying to put my finger on it.
Yeah, no, that was good. So Michael Carter comes back saying I think they said it's a grade 2 high ankle sprain. They're saying he's only going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks. I call BS on that. Usually it's about 4 to 5 before they come back to kind of what they were. And who knows what this offense looks like, at that time. Will Zach Wilson be back in, this or that? So to me, that's a big one. But with that said, I'm kind of thinking, trying to decide between, is it Telvin Coleman or Ty Johnson that's going to take over? Those are 2 options that you could pick up. I believe Ty Johnson is only 28% owned in Sleeper, 21% owned in Yahoo. Coleman's only 9% owned in Sleeper and 3% owned in Yahoo. So these guys are most likely available. I don't think they're worth much on your fab. I don't think they're worth, using, a top probably 8 waiver claim on it, unless you're completely hurting at running back. But
they're still on the Jets.
They're there.
What you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to say it nicely, man. But again, at the same time, and Dem Boys is kind of saying it here. I don't know if you saw that, but what if they give Ty Johnson a full role? Could be intriguing.
Yeah.
So could be worth it. Again, like I said, I wouldn't use maybe a top 8 waiver on it, but you never know. I think Carter comes back though. I think when he comes back, it's going to be his job. So you can't go too crazy with it. But if you need a win, and you have literally nothing else, there's a guy who's going to be available.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And that's one of the things that really does stand out this week. There's not really many of those high profile injuries like we've been seeing all year. So,
thank God.
I mean, you had him, Troutman, But I mean, if we're gonna talk about Troutman, like I don't think the show's long enough till we start talking about that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we want to keep it with the Jets, Elijah Moore had himself another good game. That's four
Nice.
straight weeks where he's in the double digits when it comes to points. 11 targets this week. Only owned in 58% of leagues, so it's a little more up there. But that's somebody I feel comfortable starting moving forward. What do you think?
Yeah, 58% in Yahoo, 70% on Sleeper. So those of us here on Sleeper, we're a little more on, I guess, when it comes to
Elijah been picked up for weeks
yeah,
in
he's been
sleeper.
gone in all of our stuff. Yeah, because they're all on it. But again, like you said, 8 catches, 141, and a touchdown. You just got to be careful because if Zach Wilson does come back, I kind of was talking about it last week. Flacco don't care. He's throwing the ball down the field. Elijah Moore benefited from that. Flacco don't care. He's heaving it. He's not checking the ball down.
Always.
You know what I mean? So it helps him. So will Zach Wilson be effective when he comes back? We'll see. For now, he's worth the start. But again, he's pretty rostered, most places. So, pretty much people know who he is. But again, if he's out there, he's worth the snack. So go check him out.
Yeah. Another one this week. So he kind of seemed like he's one of those guys that's been picked up and dropped and picked up and dropped. The most targeted guy this week, Darnell Mooney.
Oh, that's who I had next too. Yeah, Darnell Mooney.
Jalen Ramsey's dad, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was our thing running into. Didn't work out quite well. Ramsey's in balling this year.
Yeah.
He didn't really pop off, so that didn't go as well as he thought. Wonder if anyone's updated that on Wikipedia or whatever that was yet.
Oh yeah. That's where it came from.
Yeah, exactly. But Mooney is 68% owned on Sleeper, 58% owned on Yahoo. He goes 5 for 121 and a touchdown. Has that big play that we all saw. Just really depends. I just really think it depends on, again, how effective, Fields is going to be when he comes back. Is Andy Dalton going to start? Again, it's just kind of all crazy. I really like Mooney, in Dynasty moving forward, as things progress. But again, if you need a wide receiver, especially in 3 wide receiver leagues, if he's out there, go snag him up. Andy Dalton will be starting this Thursday from what it looks like due to the Justin Fields rib injury.
Yeah, they said it was a little quick of a turnaround that they didn't think he was going to come back. So, I mean, Dalton, for the guys that are rushing for every single quarterback that's out there, I wouldn't do it. I mean, in the 2 games that he did play this year, I mean, I know he has a very small fraction of a third game. His numbers weren't very impressive either, so he's not somebody I'm messing with. And then, that just it just changes things for Mooney, right? Realistically, if you guys are watching the show, you've probably already been on top of Mooney. You're already ahead of that news and stuff, but he is only on, like Ant said, 58% of Yahoo leagues right now. So he's an option out there.
Absolutely. One other guy that I just kind of want to honorable mention since we're talking receivers, kind of higher owned wide receivers. I'm going to go Brandon Nyuk. He's 82% owned in Sleeper, 77% owned in Yahoo.
Disgusting.
Debo only had like 1 catch in the game. They're using him more as like a RB1 with Eli out.
Yeah.
He did most of his damage on the ground, interestingly enough. Almost had 100 yards rushing. And Ayuk gets 7 catches for 85 yards and a touchdown. Ayuk, man, when you look at him, he's that dude. I think what was going on with him is he's more mental. Like physically, he's like that guy. That's why people were, we were drafting Ayuk well ahead of Debo in drafts. Like we thought this guy was going to be that guy, like in San Francisco. I mean, Ayuk was going as early as 4th round, maybe not that early, 5th or 6th round for sure, because Debo was going in the 8th. So, I mean, he's starting to kind of look like that guy. Garoppolo's looking for him in the red zone. And again, if he's out there, again, 82% in Sleeper, 77% in Yahoo. So he's mostly taken. But if he's out there in any of your leagues, I would definitely snag him. he's better than these other options that are out there at this point.
Now look at Debo. He's number 2 in yards, receiving yards on the year, and he's got 137 rushing yards. Like, that dude is just playing phenomenal. Obviously, and I guess this will kind of bring us into there's only one receiver above him. Debo's 6 yards short of having 1,000 yards. There's only one receiver that has 1,000 yards this year, and there's only one running back that has 1,000 yards rushing this year, which is Jonathan Taylor. The other interesting point, Derrick Henry, I believe, is number 2 still. He's number 3 in fantasy points scored. Like, that dude, he's still up there, right? So Jonathan Taylor just beat him this week. Yeah, Derrick Henry is he's second in rushing yards. So
yeah,
just some of my interesting facts. So I mean, even to say on that, so this week we had 4 running backs who rushed for over 100 yards. 12 different receivers that caught for over 100 yards. So we had some kind of interesting names, right? Dontrell Hilliard, who you call him, what'd you call him, Josiah Hilliard?
Oh, yeah. I was talking about the other guy, Josiah, the tight end, Josiah De Guerra. That's where I was remembering it from.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if he had
to the last note on tight ends. Yeah, no, you were trying to correct me, so I got you. I trust you.
Well, you said the same stats for Hilliard, so
it's all good. You knew what I was talking about.
Yeah, for sure. So that one, I mean,
I'm not touching him though. He's one of those 1 week flash in the pan guys. McNichols comes back. That's basically the McNichols rule. That's why we're all picking up McNichols. We were for that exact type of stat line to me. So
I blew the fab on McNichols, and
yeah, that's the game you were looking for, and he wasn't even in there. But yeah, it is what it is. I wouldn't, spend too much on him. Let him pass through waivers. If you have, open free agency after the fact, maybe he's worth a pickup, but I don't think he's worth a waiver clam, and no more than maybe $1 in fab. If you don't want to put in that $0 bib. I mean, it's not worth it to me. You have other better running backs that you should have for your depth at this point in week 12. If you didn't,
for sure,
sorry, you're not winning.
I don't think anybody started him. If somebody did, I challenge you to, show us your starting lineup. This guy's a practice squad player. None of the running backs have been really doing anything. Everybody who's on Deontay Foreman's hype.
Jeff Wilson. Everyone was starting Jeff Wilson, and then Dontrell Hilliard outscores him by so much. Although Jeff Wilson should have had that touchdown. Jimmy Garoppolo just all you had to do, you could have threw it underhand. He could have caught it.
Yeah, Jeff Wilson was definitely he was projected within like top 10 running backs last week.
Yeah, so. I had him at like 11. I had him projected at my 11, RB11 on the week, and he failed me. If he would have had that touchdown, it would have been.
You stole him from me.
I did.
Just because you thought I needed a running back, we didn't know if Chubb was coming back.
Yeah.
And then he texted me, I feel bad about it. Like, you lying. Hey.
Yeah. No, I said kinda. Yeah,
that's funny.
And not really.
I was just laughing because no, you don't. Hey, that was just a strategic move.
I should have let you grab him and start him against me.
I'm going Chubb, dude. If there's any question, I'm going Chubb.
If he's even going to take one snap, you'll take it because he might go for 60 yards and a touchdown.
I'm just glad he didn't go too crazy because that's going to ruin all my Elijah Mitchell shares. The Niners like to switch it to the hot hand. You're either starting running back for like 3 weeks in a row, and then it's like, all right, let's reevaluate what we want to do. Well, makes no sense to me over there.
Yeah, or they get hurt because they keep running that toss, man. When they run that toss, dude, those are just collisions on the outside. It's speed versus speed. Yeah. And it's just a collision every time. Or they set the edge and they're gone. It's a nice little scheme. Anyway. I'm surprised you engaged me with that much Niner talk. I can't believe you even did that. So I appreciate that.
It's kind of weird. Hey, the first year, I actually hold Devo and Elijah's stocks.
We actually had like a conversation that involved the Niners that there was no slander. It was like an actual just fantasy conversation with no hatred whatsoever.
I want to drop an F-bomb right now.
I know you do. I know, but I respect the heck out of you for doing that. So anyway, go ahead. I might even take the hat off and sport the bad hairdo for you because of that.
Hey,
maybe I'll flip it around or something.
Take the head off and spit in it. So you couldn't go that long. I guess a couple other guys that kind of stood out to me this week. Rondell Moore, he killed it, right? 11 targets this week, caught all 11, only for 51 yards though. But those 11 catches in any PPR, you're already sitting pretty right there. So, again, you kind of always see that sort of thing when you're talking about number 4 on the depth chart is where he was. So he worked a lot more with Colt McCoy than he does with Kyler, even though they try to force him, right? And with Kyler coming back, possibly, because Arizona's coming back on a bye week, right?
Yeah, they're on
I'd
a
have
bye
to
this
double
week.
check that.
Yeah.
Bye this week and Kyler back next week.
Yeah, Arizona and Kansas City are on a bye this week.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not expecting this kind of stuff from Rondell. So I do think in the future, I think Dynasty, I'll try to give damn near everything for him. All right, them boys.
Them boys is even saying Debo is the man, though. Got to drop the Niners hate at least long enough to acknowledge that. So, mad respect to the both of you guys. You guys are making me come around on Cowboys fans. I think you guys just set the whole Cowboy nation or whatever you guys call yourselves. What do you guys call yourselves?
America's team.
America's fans.
What are you guys called?
I don't know. The Niner gang or something? I think it's like a Niner gang.
Oh, bang, bang.
Yeah, that whole thing. Anyway.
Oh, man. Yeah.
We were doing good. We don't need to set the show back. Shout out to Neanderthal. He's saying, I think we're getting that asterisk tonight, Ant. I hope so, man. He and I are neck and neck in our leagues, and we're hoping we get that little asterisk that guarantees ourselves the playoffs. Doesn't it feel so good when you finally get that little asterisk, and you just know even if you go 0 and whatever until now, you're at least guaranteed those playoff games. You're guaranteed that one playoff game. So you have until then to get yourself together.
You definitely get to strategize a lot more. It's a big weight off your shoulder because now you're looking at, or what you guys should be looking at, I'm sure you are, but I'm picking up what defense is playing the Jets come those bye weeks. You know, like I'm looking at all the intricate details, the kickers, for the rest of us that are just streaming them, just makes you that much more comfortable. And it's early to be getting an asterisk this early. Like you have to be well ahead of your competition. So shout out to you guys for that.
Awesome. And Drew has a question or comment here. Will Fitzpatrick ever start a game this year?
Didn't they say they're not rolling with him, right?
My answer was no from the beginning. I don't know if you remember in the very first show we did after that injury. And, you know, I brought up all the guys that had that injury basically into their season and or career when that happened. So I didn't expect Fitzpatrick to come back this year. That's just me personally. And like you said, I think I heard them say that even if and when Fitzpatrick's ready, that they're rolling with Hannicki to basically see what he has and see if he can build on it. And honestly, he's not looking bad. It's actually a nice little segue into one of my waiver ads for this week, which is Taylor Hannicki. 21% owned on Sleeper, 15% owned on Yahoo. Goes for 206 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 29 rushing yards to add on a little bit to that. So again, he's playing, you know, well. Has a okay playoff schedule. Might be someone you need to look at. You know, if you drafted Matt Ryan, you know, if you drafted some of these guys that aren't producing, Baker Mayfield, you know, somebody like that. You know, even Big D Joe Burrow putting up a couple stinkers here. I think 2 out of his last 4 have been pretty bad games, including a loss to. Didn't they lose to the Jags as well too, or someone like that? They lost to someone they should have beat a couple weeks back. But again, these are guys.
It's so weird this week.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing. Yeah, Trevor
Dak
Siemian.
Prescott and Mahomes, right? Just both of them didn't really put up anything. Like, so
it's supposed to be the game of the week. 55-point over under. Those guys couldn't even, between Dak Prescott and Mahomes, couldn't even combine for 1 touchdown passing. Can you believe
crazy? And you're still talking about, I mean, Mahomes is number one on the year when it comes to fantasy points. So, I mean, yards, all that kind of stuff. So, I don't know, man. It was just a lot of big names did what they were supposed to, but a few of them did let us down. It's a little harder on quarterbacks, even when you're talking like the Rodgers and, all these big names. Russell Wilson didn't have a good game for me this week. I know we talked about it on previous shows. Obviously, Chris Carson out for the year. So, I mean, if you guys didn't own Alex Collins.
Collins, Rashad Penny, one play, gets hurt. Classic Rashad Penny. Stay away from
And
that
I feel
guy.
like they keep pumping him. They want him
like,
to be that man so bad.
He goes out, gets hurt. Like literally on the first, like Raheem Mostert at least
I was
lasted.
gonna say Raheem Mostert.
He lasted 2 carries at least. I was like, oh my goodness. So yeah. Them boys on a little flex here, 11-0 in one league, so he knows he's making at least one playoffs this year. Congratulations.
Little subtle flex. I like it.
I like it. J Media in the house. I came for the fantasy advice, but staying for the Niner chatter. There we go.
It.
Shout outs to J Media. Who else we got in here?
Going too far.
What up, Season? What's going on, guys? Missed the last couple shows and took an L, so I won't be missing another one. Probably because you kept trying to trade everybody. We told you to hold pat. You're trading all the guys who are going off now. So no, I think you've put together a nice little team there, so you're good. Them boys are saying he drafted Ryan and Hannicki. Ryan is permanently on his bench from now on. Hey, Dem boys, just permanently put him on that waiver wire, man. Let him be somebody else's headache.
Hey, and he's one of those names that's so attractive when I see him on the waiver wire. Because even this week, I looked at one of he's projected at just a ridiculous amount of points again, and you're like, dude, I've watched you guys play. Hey, seriously. Speaking of undefeated,
Al Davis.
Speaking of undefeated,
oh, is he undefeated in your league?
Yeah, he's 11-0, and like I said, hey, I want him to win it out, start knocking out these people that I'm competing with to make it into playoffs.
Right.
I took a tough loss, so
don't start losing now. Yeah, don't start losing now.
You,
don't start losing.
Hey, he had a close one. He needed Brady to pull it off for him, and he did.
Nice.
Rashard Penny's made out of glass. Hey, it's like damn near all Seattle running backs. Since they got rid of Sean Alexander, it's just been a carousel over there.
Yep. Drew saying Carson had Carson in one league, so he traded AB for Elijah Mitchell. Great trade.
Yeah, I don't know how you even put the question mark on this one.
Yeah, well done.
With
Drew.
Chris Carson being out for the year, Elijah doing what he's doing, we're still waiting on AB to come back, but depending on when you did it, I mean, you're winning.
Absolutely. Them boys are saying he likes that trade as well. So, so we're all caught up. You guys have anything else you want to throw out there, recapping your week, questions you have, waiver wire ads? Again, not too much happened this week as far as big time injuries. I'll just kind of maybe go through a couple of those real quick here, ones we haven't talked about. Jamal Agnew, for anyone that had him. Had that hip injury, placed on season-ending IR. He's done for the season. We kind of mentioned it, but in that Cowboys game, Zeke got banged up with a knee. He still played, but keep your eye on it with a short week. Everything's looking like he's going to be playing, but again, just keep an eye on it. Have a backup. All you Tony Pollard owners out there might be able to get excited to watch him on Thanksgiving Day. CD Lamb. I'm sure we all saw that head hit the carpet, banging off the ground. He left with that concussion. We'll see if he's able to clear protocol in time to play as well. Who else do we got? Aaron Rodgers dealing with that toe. He was a lot more open about his toe and how much that's hurting him and his specific injuries is going on, but couldn't talk about his vaccination apparently. So
immunization
or non-vaccination. But I just thought that
Dr.
was
Joe Rogan
as well. Yeah. But so he's dealing with the toe. Obviously it was kind of a big thing when he, didn't take a knee heading into the halftime and started to get a little treatment on it. He'll be playing. We all know he's a diva. We talked about AJ Brown. Talked about A.J. Brown leaving with that hand and now chest. We'll see if he ends up playing. And guys, we're still kind of uncertain on Alvin Kamara, Logan Thomas. Kareem Hunt is expected to come back and resume practice this week. And then, of course, Eli Mitchell dealing with that finger still. So we'll see if he's ready. So more information to come as we go throughout the week. And then, of course, Mike and I will be here on Friday at 9:30 as well to let you know how they'll shook out throughout the week.
Hey, we're dropping content.
There it is, man.
We're here 4 nights a week. Hey, you got articles on the website.
Got rankings, getrightff.com. Do it, man. We put this underdog.
We're around the horn on Sleeper. So shout out to everybody. We know we get a lot of questions, and I appreciate I like reading other people's opinions on things too. So when people are writing these start sit questions, trade questions, and I guess that's something we should talk about too. So a lot of trade deadlines have already ended. Some of you guys are still lucky enough to have the ability to do trades and stuff. Now's the time, right? You got to look at your record. You got to look at what people are doing, and hey, pull the trigger. These guys you've been sitting on that still have some value. You just got to go for it.
It's been 11 weeks. If it ain't changed, it ain't changing now. So
yeah,
get busy living or get busy living.
Yeah. Hey, get right or get left, you know?
Exactly.
Playoffs waits for no man.
Absolutely. Yeah, man.
Hold off giving up DK versus Zeke. Yeah, I seen that. That was in the Zombie League.
Very nice.
And like you said, he knows DK's got, he knows he's got talent, but he thinks he's going to have a couple of high-scoring games to close out the end of the year.
Absolutely. And they have that funky where they play like the same team like twice. Like, don't they play? You guys play the Washington and the Eagles like to end your last 4 games of the year or something weird like that. So that's going to be funky. Funky. Drew saying was lucky Mitchell was that guy's RB4 and needed a wide receiver. So in regards to his AB for Mitchell trade. So that was good.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to get a Mitchell in a few leagues too, and I'm happy about that for sure.
Absolutely. So that's that. What else do we got here? What about, have we talked about MVS at all? Marquez,
actually, that's the one name that I had on my list that
all right,
we didn't
we're
talk
there.
about.
Let's go. I got you.
I would just say he's hit or miss. He did have a great game, and he does that about every 4 games.
I was gonna say, isn't he like the epitome of boom or bust? Like
literally,
he's that guy. If you need it,
yeah,
like he's the ultimate flex. Like he's exactly what you expect out of the position.
There's some kind of like secret sauce or something, like a telltale sign to know when he's doing good. I have no clue. I know I took him on the over on one of the underdog rivalries, so I'm happy he did have his game, you know?
Well, I think when the game starts off with like a 40-yard pass to Devontae Adams, that might open things up for Scantling a little bit. I think the whole defensive coordinator is like, all right, we got to stop Devontae. And the very first play is like a 40-yard just pass, like simple out that he just takes like 40 yards. And it's like, all right, yeah, let's put some eyes on him. And then it just opens up.
And no offense,
after that.
All right, so he's a great athlete, but it's not like they're scheming it or anything like that. Like Devontae Adams and Rodgers, it's like I don't understand. I just don't understand. So every single time he's just running a normal route. I mean, he's putting the moves on him and stuff like that too. But like, how are you not double covering him at all times? Him and Rodgers are always going to find a way to get a connection, especially in the red zone.
Yeah, like run a spy on him. I don't understand.
He's running so wide open in some of these that it's ridiculous.
Yeah, like even if you're playing a zone, just man up that one guy. Like you should just have one guy that's playing man on him, and play the rest of your zone, and just take that one guy and put it on Devontae, and adjust your
zone.
It's
probably still not going to help you.
It's like it's the equivalent of running a box.
Like that, it makes sense.
It's an equivalent of like a box and one in basketball. Like you're just playing a box and one.
Well, it's like, okay, with Tyreek Hill, they scheme a bunch of plays to him. Even like you've seen this week against us, like he was always having the ball. He's always finding a way to get open, and they're running these crazy plays and using his speed. But like Devontae is literally just out there as a wide receiver one, just mossing fools all the time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
J Media said Rashad Bateman a horrible streaming option. No, he's good. What did Bateman end up with this week? I thought he had a decent game. Well, actually, I thought Bateman was actually going to have a good game, with no Marquise Brown. But when
Lamar
was out, I kind of faded Bateman everywhere that I had him. I wasn't starting him over anything. So I honestly didn't even pay attention to him. I don't even know.
Bateman. Yeah, I was the same way. I didn't start Bateman this week. I'm high on Bateman for the year when Lamar's in there and healthy.
Yeah, I was so excited to use him in DFS this week, and then Lamar got sick with a cold or whatever and ruined that whole plan.
I seen the video of him walking in the stadium, and I mean it's just the back of him, but you could tell the way he's walking, like he's like struggling to even make it in.
Yikes. Yeah, they said it's not COVID related, so it's just regular like flu or something. But yeah, excuse me. Bateman went 6 targets, 3 catches for only 29 yards. So yeah, nothing special there.
If you're on Twitter, every other analyst out there, hey, calling it Bateman season and all that kind of stuff. Which again, I do agree with. I like Bateman. I'm rostering Bateman in a lot of leagues. Rostering Bateman.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that just wasn't his week. But again, to get 6 targets, I think that's been his floor for the last like 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, and there'll be a higher quality of target once he gets back in there. So Andrew's still showing out over there as well too. Yeah, but just back to MVS. MVS is a poor man's Mike Williams. Basically is. And again, MVS is only 17% owned in Sleeper, 9% in Yahoo. And goes, 4 on.
There's a reason for that.
123 and a touchdown, yeah. And then the guy goes for 123 and a touchdown, and this guy's out there. So to me, he's worth if you can even hit that in a game, and we've seen him do it here and there. Again, like you said, there's no rhyme or reason. But sometimes, again, maybe you have a Rondell Moore or Christian Kirk on a bye week, and you just need a 1 week replacement. Maybe go after MVS. Who do they play this week?
So we talked about Dontrell Hilliard.
They play the Rams. They play the Rams, so they're going to have Ramsey on Devontae maybe, if he's going to shadow. I don't know how that's going to work, but they've been vulnerable in the air. So MVS might have another big game. It'd be a good game.
Yeah, I just say impossible because it'd be 2 in a row.
And it's in Packers, yeah.
All right, so obviously
we're going to talk Gaskin too. Go ahead.
No, I'm not. But yeah, Gaskin every other week start this guy, and he's got a very favorable schedule.
Sit him next week.
Yeah,
or sit him this Sunday.
I was going to talk about Nick Westbrook, the kind or however you say his full name.
Nick Westbrook. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, NWI. So he was playing for Tennessee. Obviously, they had Julio out. They had the AJ Brown injury, but he put up 8-7 for 107. I'm just giving him honorable mention. You can't have a week like that and then us not talk about you. But again, I'm not blowing fab on this guy or anything like that.
And you shouldn't have to. 2% owned on Sleeper, 0% owned on Yahoo.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm honestly not even going to pick him up because it's
shout out to
carousel over there in Tennessee.
Shout out to the 2 people that started him in Sleeper this week.
There's some people in Tennessee that are starting this guy for sure.
They did.
Somebody from his hometown.
32-man league. So yeah. Oh, and look at them boys coming out saying Ramsey hasn't shadowed much this year. He's actually transitioned to covering the slot like 80% of the time. See? Next level stats, baby. That's what you get here. I get right. Shout out to them boys, one of our ambassadors. Big time ambassador. One of the OGs. It's more than an ambassador. He's one of the 3 horsemen.
He's one of us.
Yeah, it's one of the 3 horsemen. It's probably a good time to throw that on there. You want to hit him with it?
No, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. It's your thing.
No. It's not.
It's our thing, but you came up with the idea. It's a fantastic idea, so hit him with it real quick.
No. Go ahead.
All right. Well, you guys see it.
The whole show.
Go ahead.
All right.
Do you like sick kids?
So I don't, I'm not doing that one, but that was awesome. Actually not awesome, but
In all seriousness,
yeah. So yeah, in all seriousness, it's not really about the subscribers that we get, but for everybody that's subscribed, I know most of the names that are in the chat right now. I already know it's no question. But we're donating $1 for each subscriber that we get. It was supposed to be till the end of October. We started late. We pushed it out to the end of November. If you want to touch on Dim Boys, I mean, him and his family have been very generous to us. So again, I mean, we couldn't thank you enough, Dim Boys.
Absolutely. And again, just shout out to everybody else part of Get Right out there that has made a donation on, behalf of Get Right and towards our little cause here that we're doing. Jonathan Smith, McGoats, a handful of others, and excuse me for, not knowing you here right off the top of my head, but just big shout out and a huge thanks to you guys for doing that because you're making a difference in someone's life. And, on behalf of us, we appreciate that. So enough of that.
We went on Dynasty
show of
Pylons
emotion.
and had somebody, so we were bringing that up and somebody like during the show, like, all right, I'm going to make a donation right now too. So you got to love to see it, guys. We're just kind of just bringing awareness about it, right? There's people that have it a lot worse off than what we do. So yeah.
Absolutely. So tell people about us, have them subscribe, grab their phone, open up their YouTube app, hit that subscribe button, shut it.
Hack into their personal.
You just made $1 for the St. Jude's, so we appreciate it. It's that easy.
Start breaking into houses. Hey,
Don't go that far. Don't go that far.
Okay.
Shout out to Legals.
Shout out to Legals. Hey, but other than that,
big time.
Do you want to at least just talk about the games that we're gonna have on Thanksgiving, and then I mean.
Yeah. Only other kind of couple names that if you don't mind before we move on to that. Another guy I had down here that we didn't mention was and again this is super deep, deep sleeper stuff. If you're really scrounging the bottom of the barrels here, if you're in some serious, DJ Dallas, someone Dustin has been big on, or was big on at the beginning of the year. One of the best names he loves.
Coolest names in football, right there.
Absolutely. So DJ Dallas. Only 2% owned in Sleeper, 1% in Yahoo. He was used quite a bit once Penny went down. So again, just kind of keep an eye on him. Again, and we're talking if you're seriously hurting, he could be, someone that you at least could roster for now and kind of see what happens, especially with no more trades or anything like that. You kind of have to take a chance on some of these guys, but I'm not wasting any fab and I'm not using a high waiver priority on it either.
You said a couple names.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. I mean, we pretty much mentioned the other ones are tight ends, and I don't have to go on tight ends. We can move on.
Yeah.
That Josiah De Guerra, the Green Bay tight end, he's 0% owned on Sleeper and Yahoo. Goes for 2 catches for 37 and a touchdown. Has touchdown upside. We're trying to see who's gonna, fill in that Tunyon role. But we pretty much know that it's a, we know it's a Devontae Adams game over there. But again, if you need a guy, throw him in there 1 week. He could be the guy. All you Patty Fairmuth owners out there, I kind of told you so about Eric Ebron. When he comes back, he's going to be a thorn in your side. We saw Ebron get 3 catches for 24 and a touchdown. Patty still had 4 catches for only 11 yards, but also scored a touchdown. So you're kind of saved by that. But like I said, if you kind of combine that, that'd be 7 catches for 35 and at least 2 touchdowns, which is kind of what he was doing and why we picked him up. So again, that's just kind of split right down the middle there with those 2 guys.
He's got a future. I don't even want to put 7 rings coming on there. Hey. Dak's droppable. Hey, Dak is droppable, man.
Drop him. No, he did the same thing, man. I was 9-1 going against the other 9-1. Shout out to at Lisa Park, in our Got Left Out listener league. Cost me a game as well too, man. 4 points. I even had Jonathan Taylor and still lost, man. So I'm still hurting. I don't want to talk about it. And Mac Jones is better than Dak Prescott, at least in week 11.
Oh, let's go to the next comment.
And on that note, you're tripping, Brooks. It was definitely a bad week for Dak, but Mac couldn't hold his jock strap. So there it is, defending his guy. Shout out to them boys. And 7 rings. One of the two probably diehardest fans of their each respective teams that we have here. I don't know.
Gotta love it.
I'd have to put 7 rings up there with Cowbeck though. So he loves him some Patriots as well too.
Ah, you hate to see it.
I know. I love it though. I love all the fandom in here. I love how everyone sticks up for their team, man. It's cool.
Got to. Hey, that's why it's going to be a big game for us. So, I mean, it's not Raiders territory anymore, but Thanksgiving Day, you got Cowboys Raiders. I would say that's the biggest game that I'm looking forward to, being with all my family. Half of them are Raiders or Niners. So this is going to be a fun one. Dak needs to come through for me this week.
That's tough. That's at that 1:30 time, so that's that travel time. You're going to be driving when this game's on.
I'll probably be on one of your links.
I got you
honestly.
on the link. Yeah, shout out. Get in that sleeper. We have to describe what sleeper is too. I always get that question, what's sleeper? So we have to do a better job of explaining what sleeper even is. But we'll get to that.
Hey, sleeper's the future. If you're not in on sleeper, I'm newer to sleeper. I want to say like last year is when we really got into sleeper. But yeah, they're the future on everything. So
fantasy football app.
Yeah, I don't know how like ESPN's still around.
Yeah.
Shout out to Terrell this week. Nah, he's on me.
Yeah, with CH coming back, we told you fade him. Fade him.
And that game, it's just hard to predict, you know?
Yeah.
Nobody's seen that coming. But yeah, other stuff.
Sort of Jeff Wilson over him. It wasn't that much better.
Yeah. I feel like we're really not looking at much for Thanksgiving football games. The Bears and the Lions.
Yeah, that's.
Hey, I watch every football game, but I mean, I could rather watch cornhole. I'm just kidding. I'll watch that game, but
and Andy Dalton's going to be playing. I don't know who's better to watch, this new kid or Jared Goff. I don't even know. I don't think I want to even see Jared Goff on Thursday. So
I seen a stat, and what's his name? Broyle, the guy that started for the Lions.
Yeah,
I think in all of college he was like 1 touchdown, 13 interceptions or something, some crazy stat like that. I was just wondering how this guy even get a starting job in the NFL?
Right, he actually is going to have a starting game.
Lions get their first win this week. Hey, this would be the
Red
week.
Rocket against the Red Rocket, really?
The Red Rifle.
What did I say? Rocket.
Red Rocket.
It's all right. It's getting late.
Hey, that's believable. I mean, Lions have got closer with a lot better teams than the Bears, so I can definitely see that happening. And honestly, I root for them, man. Hey, I feel Lions are some of my favorite fans in the NFL because hey, they don't expect anything. They have like humility with their team, and yeah. Poor Lions fans. Hey, they were like the Falcons of last year, where they just found a way to lose it every week.
Seriously, I almost thought they were going to pull it off this week, but nah. 10-13, it was close.
Every time, though.
Seriously, he's saying his father-in-law is a Raiders fan, so if Dallas loses, it's going to be a rough week. Yeah, make for a long game. Nagy
and Raiders are the worst fans.
I saw an article today where they're saying basically Nagy's lost the locker room, and basically he's there. Even the players are calling for him to be fired. That's brutal. If it gets,
they started a chant at the Chicago Bulls game to
fire Nagy. Fire Nagy.
I can't say his name.
That's funny. That's hilarious. I love that
stuff.
Hey,
Dim Boy says, hey, Boyle makes Goff look like a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Hey, the Lions need so much over there.
Tough. It's tough, man.
Yeah.
It's rough out there.
It's like I was gonna name a position, and then I'm like, man, just everywhere. Like you want to start with the offensive line for sure, because some of it, I mean, Goff just misses throws that he's just wide open. I'm a Cal fan, so I've liked Goff for a long time, but he's got nothing over there, and there's no future looking bright. I mean, they have a lot of picks coming up, so
Their best players like Penasul, their lineman. Like he should be the face of the
solid
face of
pick,
the team. Yeah.
and still not enough. They're still getting
that's
ran through.
I mean, again, a little bit of hate. I mean, I guess Swift is good. I take that back.
Yeah.
Don't beat me up, Tycoon and everybody else on that one. So I forgot about that. But still, it's bad if he's
and
the second best known. Yeah, but he didn't do anything either. Even with Goff, we thought he was going to be decent. But again, a target from Goff is like getting a target from me. Yeah, see, Den Boys is already there. Swift is their best player.
It was
I know.
like
I took it
flies
back.
up with you.
I took it back. We're on a little delay. He got it. I knew as soon as I heard it, he was typing. No, it's Swift.
My fault.
I love it. See, we're getting fact checked over here. We got to be on our point, on our games here. So I roll our sleeves up here, guys.
Dude, it's like Jamie.
Seriously.
Or pardon the interruption where they go through at the end, like, oh, Dustin, you said you called him this, and this, and
right.
You love it.
That's awesome, man. I love it, man. So yeah, dude. So other than that, man, that's pretty much what I got for this week, dude. I mean, it was a terrible week of football, fantasy wise, for the most part. Things didn't happen. The only good thing is I hit 11 games on my pick'em. So at least I did that. I'm one game away from first place in my little pick'em league that I'm in. So shout out to everybody in that league. And yeah, other than that, man, I'm ready to turn the page on week 11 and get into week 12.
Yeah. Hey, so stay tuned, everybody. Wednesday, we'll be doing another show. It's going to be a little different because we'll be pre-gaming for all the Thanksgiving games, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Wednesday, yeah, we'll preview all of them, go more into the start sit. We have that Saints Bills game, which hopefully is going to be a good game for night. I mean, it's
got
still
potential.
We'll see. Hopefully Kamara's back. I don't know. We'll see. Like you said, that Cowboys Raiders game is probably going to be the best one, unfortunately. And that's going to be tough.
What's this unfortunately?
No, I'm more so on the Raiders. I mean, if there's anybody I hate more than the Cowboys, it's the Raiders. So if that brings you guys any solace, so
appreciate it.
It's all good. It's all love. But anyway, so yeah.
All right. These guys are just going crazy in the chat. Yeah. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for tuning in. You can roll your sleeves down. And appreciate you being here.
Always,
Let's see that sick ass outro.
Let's do it, man. We're out. Good luck.